Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is The Beat, and my name is Noxibedi, and we are here with Mustafa Hassanali. This man is a legend at what he does. And right now, he is the director of Miss World Tanzania. How are you, sir? Should I call you
Thank you.
sir?
Thank you very much for the flattery. It takes you everywhere.
Yes, I know,
Yes.
right?
Yes, the national director for Miss World Tanzania.
Yes,
One of the
that's a big
titles.
responsibilities. I mean, what made you decide to take that role as a national director for the Miss World?
Actually, I didn't. I think I didn't, and I've said this many times. I didn't wake up one fine day. I want to be a national director for Miss World. You get me? um, I think before we even go, what made me, we also have to look at the context. The context being that I started my career, like I just had a dream of making one dress, design outfit into a dress. I was given a platform of beauty pageants. The girl who wore my dress in Miss Tanzania 1999, honey, you are not even born.
I know.
And she ended up winning the Miss Tanzania 1999 on my dress. And for me, I think it was like a wow moment, you know, a teenager. And today she's our deputy representative in the United Nations Ambassador Hoistemo in Geneva. So that's where the roller coaster ride started, and then everybody wanted me. And those were the non-social, non-digital media eras, and I was dressing beauty pageants. And one of the things is in 2001, where some people I know are born. We came up with like having uniforms for the opening dance, and that's where it started. And we brought in so much innovation. It was difficult then, but luckily we had sponsors. The sponsors who are sponsoring the event would listen to us. You know what I mean? So even if you saw the Miss Tanzania of those years, they were different, and that's why it became a household once. To go event, you know, everybody's glued to their television sets just to watch the pageant. The last time I worked during the Miss Tanzania pageant for the sponsors, because I was a contractor, was in 2007. And the last time I attended a beauty pageant was in 2010. So, and today we're in 2026. So that's like if you were born, now you are a teenager in high school.
Yes.
That's a huge thing.
Yes.
So imagine not knowing what's happening in the beauty pageant, or some people come and buy dresses from me, but I was not that much invested in it. Now fast forward 2025, one of the businesses I'm involved in is the utalii wa mikutano. It is called MICE tourism, meetings, incentive, conferences, and exhibition, but events basically. You know what I mean? Or utalii wa matukio, you can say that. And it just happened that when Miss World organization came to Tanzania, and I was brought in to be part of that trip. I mean, I was part of them because I was showing them where the possible places where they could have all the events in Dar es Salaam and in Zanzibar, what can be done in Arusha, even though we did not go to Arusha. They went to Serengeti and Ngorongoro. But what are the venues? We went to all the venues in Dar es Salaam so that to see which, you know, prior to the build-up of Miss World finals, and there are a lot of small events, you know, this event we can do it here, this event we can do it here. So we saw all those venues, right? And for me, I met Julia Morley, yeah, the chairman of Miss World organization, who is an 86-year-old woman, very strong, very dynamic, very sharp, whose husband started Miss World in 1951. And but more so, I was more interested in meeting their PR manager. And why so? Because in the early age, like in the 90s, late 90s and early 2000s, there used to be a website called Global Beauties. And Global Beauties used to be the global platform where you get all the information about beauty pageants. So I was the one who would send, like, Miss Tanzania ni huyu, and you take a picture and you scan it, and you upload it on the email and you send it. And I was, because his name was so unique, I remembered from the flight manifest that, oh, so I was more excited to see him than even, sadly, this is ignorance is bliss. I did not even know Miss World anatokea nchi gani. You get me?
Yes, yes.
Whether she's, so when I found out, oh, and the Miss World Africa was actually first runner up. Oh, great. I was with the organization. And, you know, after like evenings and everything, Julia was like, I told Julia that thanks to platforms like your pageant, because I used to follow uh, beauty pageants since I was a child. I remember Miss World came in 90, Miss World from Russia came in early 90s to Tanzania. And then from there, Lisa Hanna won from Jamaica. And then Aishwarya Rai won. In fact, last week, this is the weekend before, I was sitting on a table with a lady. And I did not know who she was because I was with David Tlale. We were all in South Africa for the Fashion Week, right? And one of Lucanio, who is a very dynamic young designer. So there was this lady who was seated, matured, and
Yes.
I didn't pay attention to her. Uh, and ignorance again, and not knowing people. But anyways, and she leaves, and the designer next to me, because there was a big table, right? And said, "Oh, she's a national icon." And I just said, "No, a national icon," because who? You know what I mean? And she said, "That's Batsetsana, Makumalo, Batsetsana." And I was like, "What? You have no idea how," I jumped and I ran after her. Me, Mustafa Hassanali, who does not give up.
You are in awe.
Who does not give up? I would never do that. You know what I mean? But that was, I remember once in Nigeria, I was with this supermodel, and I didn't even move my inch to go and take a picture or say hello to that person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And today I'm jumping. You understand? And only to find out Batsasana Kumalo, she was Miss South Africa in 94 and she was first runner up in Miss World because Miss World that year was Aishwarya Rai and I just loved her. And then later, in the later years, about 10, 15 years ago, her husband was an MD of a big South African company in Tanzania. So I was like, oh my God, you know what I mean? So it's things like that. And I've been very much interested that even I remember the names, you know what I mean? Then came, and that's the same year, 1994, Aina Maeda participated in Miss World. And then we had, in 1995 was Emily Adolf, Shosa Senare, Asaida Kesi, Basila Manukuzi, Hoistemu, you get me? I knew all this
I also
stuff.
quoted you. You said that beauty pageants in the past were different.
Yes.
Do you think there is a gap in the beauty industry right now? And if there is, what
Beauty
role are you
pageants,
going to play?
I think beauty pageants are aspirational, number one. And one core thing has been constant, the only constant thing in life is change. And we have to go adapt and adapt. There was no Facebook, social media then, and then came Facebook, and then like everybody had Facebook, and then suddenly Instagram and all the social media came, content, and then suddenly life changed, right? There were no Airbnbs and there were no Bolts of the world. Now they are. You get me? In Dar es Salaam, we did not have Boda Boda and Bajaji. Now they're everywhere. But what I'm trying to do, so one thing which has been constant throughout is confidence. I think modeling and beauty pageants, the level of confidence it provides you, or it breaks your confidence, is phenomenal.
They're
Because
two different things, right?
you get
Because I've been in a debate with some people about modeling and beauty pageants, and they were like, "You can't put those two in the same plane."
No, you can't. But I'll tell you, it's very simple. Look at it this way. Okay, you are going as a model, you're going on a stage wearing a dress you do not like, but you just have to fake it. And then the designer says, Muna, or the designer, I want you to dance. And like you have zero muscles of dancing. You know what I mean? But you got to do what you got to do. You get me? And then you're going in front of people you do not know. See, today you can dance in front of your girlfriends in a private setting and be yourself. Now imagine you have to dance in front of, I don't know, 1,000 people. Okay. Now you're going on the stage in clothes which are not yours or not your style or not your icon. You have to fake that. And then you have people who are seeing you, live audience. And then there's that camera coming. You know what I mean? Right in front of your face, but you have to walk and walk with the music and follow the instructions. So you breathe 3 times and you go on the stage. Now, most models make it because once they're on the stage, they become alive. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm saying it has to be. So once you have that confidence, that builds your confidence. You know that I can wear anything. The manner somebody's shoes broke off and they'll walk as if like nothing happened. You know what I mean? There's the I don't know something tore. You know. Now, the difference between the same scenario is again for beauty pageants. The only difference is in modeling, you don't open your mouth. In beauty pageants, you're opening your mouth.
You have to have knowledge of
No, forget about knowledge. Knowledge is another question. You are being asked a question you do not know, and you have time there to figure it out. See, the top 10, you know, Kwamba, they'll ask me about my project or whatever it is, you know. So you can rehearse in front of camera. But however much you rehearse, you know, there's something called nerves which get onto you when you're in front of a lot of lights and people and everybody is looking at, and that performance of the stress of delivering. And then worse, even if like there is some sister who is pushing you so hard, you know, trying to live her dream through you, or a mother who is so on your neck that you get me, or the fact that the family is not supporting you and then you have to prove them. Those are nerves. I myself, like I sometimes I go, you know, like however much you have been doing these interviews, and sometimes it gets the best of the people.
Yes.
Now just imagine you are there and you have to, oh, so what is your, if you are given a chance to meet the POTUS, what would you tell him and how would you advise him on the global, you know, economy, and what is the role of America in, my dear, how do you even start? Do you understand?
Sounds like a lot of pressure.
You get me? It's easier. If you become Miss World Tanzania, what would you do? Oh, peace in the world, and I'll change the. That is easy. But now if you're given a question, you can even the best of the best can crumble. That's why those questions can be, because any of those five are fit to be Miss World Tanzania or Miss World or whichever pageant you can think of. But the way you answer, not what you answer, the way you answer.
Okay, because it's a
makes all the
combination of a
difference.
lot of things, not
Because
just
by the
dance.
time they've come to top 10, they've already been vetted, like top 10. Then how they perform on the stage, you get to your top 5. And then either of those 5 girls could be Miss World Tanzania.
So I have a question right there. That sounds like a lot of pressure, and that's why.
So you see, so if you can face that pressure, the other pressures are nothing in this world, because tomorrow, you know, you see I don't know, you see, oh, that's my role model, you know, I want to be like him or her. Some of the people, oh my God, they just end up admiring that person from far. You, because you have confidence, you walk up to him and say, "Good afternoon, sir. You know, I really admire the work you're doing." And you know, in that short 30 seconds, the elevator pitch, because they had 10 seconds, went in the top 10 round, they had only 30 seconds to talk. You get me? So in that 30 seconds, you can do an elevator pitch to a CEO of a company. I think your values reflect my values, and I think I can be a very great brand ambassador. May I have your card? And this is my card. Mama Lisa.
That is
Now
why I want
that
to.
confidence, a lot of people, ukiona tu pale yule katibu mkuu unamwogopa. Katibu mkuu kwani sio
Katibu mkuu.
binadamu. You know, if you want to public service, au sijui unaona waziri, a minister there, yeah? A lot of people just get afraid. They cannot go, oh, he's too above me. It's just another human being.
Do you think the industry is doing a lot of work right now to protect the mental well-being of beauty pageants?
Sorry?
Do you think the industry, the beauty industry, is doing work to protect the mental health of these beauty pageants? As you spoke about pressure, having a lot to do, do you think like enough is being done?
I don't know what I don't know about enough is being done. And then again, this sorry to say this, well-being and mental health and everything. These are new terms. You get me? Which have been rebranded, into a commercial value. You get me? Call a spade and not a big spoon, right? Pressure has been there since our grandparents' time. Imagine those people who came to colonize us, what pressure they must have been going through. You get me? All the chiefs and the families, you know what I mean? Some pressures were there, you know what I mean? Unplanned pregnancies, those things were there. You get me? Mental health has been there. We used to have a system of of counteracting it. You know what I mean? Kikao cha familia, your mothers would speak to you, you had somewhere to offload in this age and era of individualism and selfishism. A lot of people don't have a platform to unload. So everybody is so stuck on how I look on social media, you cannot talk about it. And I think it's very important that somebody needs to. The social media life is another life, is a parallel life, and then there's another life, uh, which is your life. You get me? So when we come to mental health and mental wellness, it's just not only mental, you also your physical, your emotional state is also very important. It's not just about the brain. You get me? But it's also your heart also. You get me? Are you a giving person? You get me? The more you offload, the more you give, the more you receive in abundance also. Again, importance of prayer. I don't know about other, because there's a beauty industry and there's a beauty pageant industry. When you talk about beauty industry, also makeup, hair, beauty products, and everything. However, in the beauty pageant industry, because it's like any other competitions like modeling and things like that, um, I don't know what others did or are doing, because as I tell you, this is my first time organizing a pageant, right? A platform for women to be empowered. But one thing we did, we tried our level best. We did not achieve what we wanted to, but we had a session on mental health. You get me?
Okay.
From an insurance company, our partner, and they talked about it, and they're gonna still, even after the event is over, they're gonna make sure they're gonna be talking to the girl, the winner, Latricia, and all the other girls, the top five, about if they have any problems, they can go. You know what I mean? And understand, guide them about their wellness. But also we had, they talk to a lot of other people. There are so many other master classes, one way or another, while related to health. You get me? Like on nutrition. They all measured and weighed and to know their metabolism, so many things. So we wanted to give as much as we could, but then we just realized time is not enough. You get me? And but I'm not one of those people. I would love to keep them for 2 weeks at a time in the boot camp. No, keep it short, keep it condensed, keep it compact. Those girls were up at 5:30 in the morning every day and going to sleep at 11 p.m. By the time they're done, you do not even have time to think. You get me? Because it's only under the pressure diamonds are made.
Yeah.
So, coming back to your question, how did it happen, Miss World Tanzania? It was the same trip that I was thanking Julia Morley for giving me an opportunity, because I was not a contestant, but I used that platform uh, to build my fashion career. So the next year, all the following years, girls wanted my dresses, and I was helping them. And I was like, if I would be doing Miss Tanzania, I would have done this, and nobody wants to listen to you, and all those challenges.
Yeah.
So that's why, even if you see, we were open to young people who are bringing us their ideas, because I was once upon a time a young person. People sending me DMs, and I was like, directed to the right person. You know what I mean? Because it was such kind of platforms and opportunities. And when in thanking her, and now you have Fashion Week, and I think people Google, people do AI to find out who you are. And when she was leaving, she asked me, oh, so during the whole thing, you should come to Miss World. You'll meet other people, like typical, she's a typical grandma also at the same time. You should meet people, you'll meet people from all over the world, and I'm very good at networking, and this is my strength. So if you want to know, I know people from the leaders in fashion, not beauty pageants, from Sao Paulo to Shanghai to Japan to Canada.
Yeah.
I have access. I know them. We communicate. Forget about Africa. Africa, we know everybody, right? The
Small circle.
small village. You know what I mean? So imagine now beauty pageant. This is interesting. So when she all these things, I didn't know where it was leading. And when she was leaving, she asked me, I think if you are interested, you should do a great job, doing representing us here. Send me a letter of intent. You don't know even what letter of intent is.
So what?
Yes. So when I did not even know what letter of intent is. So yeah, I sent a letter of intent. Tell my PA that you have talked to me, and I was like, okay. What do I have to lose? You know what I mean? And but what made me push to this is what is Miss World? I was still in the notion of Miss World when I left Miss Tanzania. The last Miss Tanzania I attended in 2010 with Genevieve Pangala won.
Oh yeah, Genevieve.
Yes, and Genevieve, because she was wearing my dress, so maybe I went to support her, and she won wearing my dress. But one thing is for sure that the black Julia, what made me send a letter of intent was the fact that they do not have swimsuits.
Swimsuits.
They don't have the swimming suit competition. So even at Miss World Tanzania, even in the prejudgment, I remember in those days, they would have a private showcasing of your in bikini, how your paja looks like, or no, it used to be, but and then when you go to Miss World, you have to, but in Tanzania, it's against the mamadili. So I took that because I do not believe in a woman conformation of certain figure. If you have chirizi or you have what they call stretch marks, it is your stretch marks. It is yours, and you should be proud of it. If you have discoloration of skin, it is yours. You have to be proud of it. And one of the things about Miss World is beauty with the purpose.
Yes.
So it's this and this: the need to serve and having a mental IQ and capacity to adapt and adapt. You know what I mean? This you can always change it. This the
so that's
face.
how you want women to be viewed in the pageant.
For me, it is all about that. The impact you'll make. Yes.
Yes, that's
so.
Important.
I mean, look at you, for example, amazingly dressed. Christian, young, beautiful young Christian girl. The hair, the wig, the makeup.
Thank you.
You are beautiful, but if it does not confirm, okay. If you have some spots, you can always go and get some skin specialist. You know what I mean? To get things done. Or if you want your eyebrows like this, you know what I mean? You can get it done. And then women just change. You get me? So that can always be fixed. But what cannot be fixed is moyo wako. Unajitolea. You genuinely care. You get me? Because you cannot act for long. The facade breaks down.
Yeah, definitely.
And the brain, you need to be sharp. Umeelewa? So when that happened, but the most important reason is they came here to ask Her Excellency to, that they want to bring Miss World to Tanzania. You understand? So if you understand how leadership works, presidency is different from president. President is a human person who is there, but that president is a big organization on its own. You get me? So you can just say Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. No, she's just a one person. But they're like, you to get an appointment to see the president or to be invited, you have gone through a lot of scrutiny. You get me? So when they went to see the president, and the president accepted them to come and visit them. That's a lot, you know what I mean? If it wasn't of that stature, kuna waziri ambaye anaweza kufanya hiyo kazi. You understand? Or kuna baraza la sanaa.
Basata, yeah.
Yes. But the president saw, and then the president of Zanzibar met them, right? Huku najiuliza, what have they seen that I cannot see?
They definitely saw something.
You know, forget about the president seeing something. The people around must have seen something which I cannot see. Okay, I'm blind. I'm getting a letter of intent. Let me send. Tutajua huko what they are seeing. I'll also see it later. You know what I mean? And lo behold, within 2 months, I had a kataba with an invoice. You get me? And the rest is history. And now, once you have gotten, you know what I mean? You wanted the dream house, and you got that house. You know what I mean? Now, like, oh my God, what did I even get into? Do you understand?
Yes.
That's what happened later. That's another whole story.
Tell us about that.
You really want to know? No, so like
You can't give us
wow,
the story.
I mean, okay, so now I'm gonna do Miss World Tanzania. That means I am the official representative of sending a representative from Tanzania to Miss World competition. I can take you and send you. It's
sure.
very simple. No, it's not about that. Trust me, you
about
do
that.
not want to go there, okay? Because we can talk about it.
Okay.
Because I can mention you girls who have won Miss. I mean, okay. This is camera. Don't want to be really for later. But so height is not an issue, right? But I must say something. I could have picked up any girls and sent her, and I finished my part. But we need to have a proper representation. That's why we did a nationwide search. Not a search, not a auditions, but we did mikoani, mashindano mikoani. All these things were done in 3 months. Having regional competitions, looking for partners and sponsors, and pulling off an event. January, February, March. April was the finals. Okay. What am I going to do different?
And what were you looking for?
What were I looking? So I always said, I'm looking for a girl who has this and this and this. I can always fake it, face it.
But how did you see that in the first glance?
No, but you see, again, you have to understand, and I'm very honest to myself. I've never organized a beauty pageant. I've told this so many times. Organizing Swahili Fashion Week is like this. It's like 1,000 times, and I'm not even joking. It's 1,000 times easier to organize Swahili Fashion Week than
a beauty pageant.
And Swahili Fashion Week is like long, 2 months. I don't know. There are like 8 events on just a day. It's like in every day. There's so much commotion. This one is another level. It's like completely same industry. The people who attend fashion weeks are totally different than people who attend beauty pageants. So it's a learning curve also for us. You know what I mean? So, but what I wanted to do, and this is the narrative I went to each and every partner. You're not sponsoring the event. You're sponsoring the whole year. So the real sponsorship starts from 20th April. Because what will happen is the event is over and the girl is on her own. And if you talk to all the former beauty queens, they were left on their own. So if they did anything, they did it with the help of their friends, family, you get me? Do I want to leave that legacy? This is a legacy which it has taken me 25 years to build in the fashion industry. Wow. So those are the questions like, what the F-U-C-K, French word, bleep, did I get into? Like literally, what did I get into? Until now, I can't believe that it's over. But it's not over. The work has just started.
Beginning.
So that is what we want to do. I want every other woman, use this platform to change the narrative, to change their narrative of their career. They change their narratives of their family. But that can only happen when you have the support of their parents. And one thing which killed me, like literally, I'm not a person who is emotional at all. I mean, you cannot get a tear out of me, unless you beat me up, you know what I mean? You get me? One of the girls literally made me like swell during a one-on-one with them, and she said the only reason I am coming is my parents gave me the permission in Mustafa. This is not a
Oh.
bragging. And I'm like, I said, make sure after the competition, I want to meet you, call me, and I want to talk to your mom and thank her
Wow.
personally. Because she said, my mom and my parents were against it. But when they say it's you, and my mom has been a big fan of you, and anakuamini,
It's a great
she
legacy.
said, so for me, like that's the winning moment. That's even more sentimental. And that adds even more stress to my already messy, stressed life. That again, because when I say these girls are not, they could be my younger sisters. They're the future leaders of the country. They're gonna be somebody's wife. There's gonna be somebody's mother, and that will always stay
How
in their
much
life.
knowledge do you think they have about these things legally when it comes to signing contracts, NDAs?
So coming back to that, when I signed the contract for Miss World, now it dawned on me, what am I getting into? And the last thing I wanted, I do not want any issues. You get me? I do not want somebody just, in this age and era, people just create content to get followers, blah, blah, blah on the social media. And I've had that. And it was so, I don't know if I want to talk on TV, but
Just
it
go
is
ahead.
something which I was so disappointed. And then I have to laugh and smile at that person and he just, oh, it's not even what giving him the platform. But, anyways, uh, people use this. Everybody wants content, and some people, Madili is very important. Some people, when you do not have that maadili, in you, mtoto mleavyo ndio ukuavyo. Kama hujalelewa vizuri, you will turn anything and speak on social media. As long as you're live on TikTok and you're getting money, and people are engaging, and people want to, and sisi wa Tanzania tuna PhD in kulalamika, unajua, and kudandia treni, unajua. So you start something, oh, Mustafa is a, yes, Mustafa is bad. Hata humjui Mustafa how it looks like. You know what I mean? You understand? So we are very good at it. So one of the things we did, and I said, I have to set precedents for the rest of the projects of Miss World Tanzania, is how are we going to do this? You know, for a girl, let's give her all the support. You get me? Asipate shida ya vitu dogo ndogo. Today you came here. There's this bangle. There's this chain. This, if it's a hair or wig or whatever it is, ulipodoa. All these things cost. There is a value attached to it. Now just imagine you have to do this every day and you don't have the resources.
Crazy.
You don't have the resources. What happens? And if your resolution is not strong enough, my dear, unaweza kutelekeza without even you knowing into doing things which just to keep up, you can end up doing things. So, based on that fact, we said asipate shida ndogo ndogo. Ndo maana she has a whole supply of makeup throughout the year. Not only product, but whenever she wants to go out for official engagements and needs to be done. Unajua kuna ile ya weka foundation, weka lipstick and eyeliner, you go. And then there is that full regalia makeup. She has that also. And it's part of the obligation or memorandum of understanding. She has a salon which will do your manicure, pedicure, facial, hairstyle, throughout the year. Those are things are covered. She has her health insurance, her travel insurance, her car insurance, a car. We have even gotten her an apartment where she'll be staying. So those things are
Covered.
covered. Now, kununua nyanya na vitunguu analipwa mshahara, so we cannot provide her that. Sijui luku wa nyumbani, no, that's her responsibility. But at least, but she's getting a very decent salary, which we made it public. I don't know if it's decent or whatever, but it's something. I mean, if you can, 2 million shillings is a decent amount of money to
Yeah,
spend
very.
a month. You know what I mean? Unalipwa hiyo. So haya, huna gharama ya salon, huna gharama ya nini. And then there are designers who are willing to dress her up. You know what I mean?
I mean, for the
So
preparation of the Miss World.
forget about her normal life. You get
That's
me?
another topic for the
This
preparation.
is the top. The preparation of Miss World is another story. But you see,
Wow.
every time she has to come, right? So you see all those things, we are taking care of it as her prize. You know what I mean? And hatujamwacha hivi hivi kwamba even mshindi anapata milioni 10. Fine, okay. When she goes to give away her crown, she'll get another 5 million. And all these things we have already done. All the everything has been compliant with the government. Basata wanajua hiyo. So you want to create a woman. Now, we can only take a horse to the pond, not force her to drink it. If she does not want to be helped, mimi nitakaa tu pembeni. But if she shows like what we did, okay, the Miss World finals, Tanzania finals was on a Sunday. On Monday there was this Miss World hosting agreement, signing agreement. So the whole day we went there for the signing agreement, and then we had lunch with Miss World organization. You get me? So she was there, part of that lunch. Tuesday, Wednesday, we got her a passport. She did not have a passport. And the next thing on Thursday, she's on her way to South Africa for the Fashion Week of Fashion South Africa in Cape Town. That, when she went there during the first fitting, and you see her coming out in David Lale, you know, famous South African designer, imprints, you know, all these people, you know, like everybody, she was a star. You know what I mean? Everybody, her title, Miss World Tanzania. Oh, she's going to go and represent Tanzania in Miss World. You know what I mean? Tomorrow, remember, tomorrow, if she plays as well, all those designers are going to use those pictures for their social media.
Yes.
You understand that? So, but the exposure that gave her, and all those exposure, her self-confidence, you could see the radiation in her eyes. You know what I mean? You know, we had lied to her, you're going to Kenya. You know? But the immigration officer at the airport, she was like, where are you going, Kenya? And then she's saying, you know, like, I told her, just tell her, umelea,
Did you lie to her
because
now?
I did not want any problems, unajua. So she said, you're going to Cape Town, and she freaked. You know what I mean? Imagine your first time, you have never been on a plane, you have never traveled, you have never done any of those things, and you're going to Cape Town, even that for a fashion week, you know. And I asked her, do you know Swahili Fashion Week? Sorry, I just have to be, I assume people do not know it. You know what I mean? She said, yes, I came here last year, I attended it. So she is somebody who follows these things. She came at the event. She did not model, but she was there. So for her, it was always something, oh, I want to participate in Fashion Week. Now she's modeling in Cape Town with the biggest names and big models and everything. Then that already South African media already have picked up those stories. You know what I mean? So that's great for her. But if you do not want to do it, you know, oh, I'm tired. Oh, mimi siwezi kutembea kwenye viatu virefu. There's nothing, mimi nitakuacha tu. You understand? Because I have done my part. And that part also helps when you are talking about the NDA. You get me? And because we want to create a benchmark and we want to create a precedence with this program, everybody from the caterer to the production team, everybody who was involved with the girls signed a non-disclosure agreement. Because I do not want, it's just like cheti cha ndoa. Unajua, when you get married, you know, we are till death as a part of something else. You get me? But you know, but if you are not married, yeah, there is no contract signed, yeah. You can even live in fear just because umegombana kidogo na boyfriend or fiance. You might have that, you might not speak it out, but moyoni, jamani akiniacha, what will happen to me? That fear is always there. You get me? but that, so all the contestants, when they went, they signed, the moment they arrived, they signed a non-disclosure agreement. So even the contracts they signed, they can't speak about it.
I think in the past people didn't have much knowledge about contracts and NDAs.
So the beauty about it is that I wanted, with no offense, you know what I mean? It's like you open your Facebook account or Instagram account, and then you click. Do you accept all the terms and conditions? Have you ever read one?
I've never read even.
But you accepted it. So we did not want to do something like that.
Yes.
So the first thing they did, they signed a non-disclosure agreement. It's a one-page paper. You know what I mean? That whatever happens, whatever you see for the rest of your life, you're never gonna speak about it publicly. You get me? So that's one. That's why you could not hear you, even if you wanted to probe what's happening in the camp, unless I tell you. You know what I mean? Oh, they're doing this. You know. So when we went to Dodoma, when we were invited by the minister to Bunge, they never knew. The matron only knew one day before. Only me and one person, two people knew in the office that we are going to Dodoma. They were only told on that Sunday night that we had given them this uniform to go up again, you know, all those things. That beba bendera yenu. So they said, bendera. Kesho asubuhi tunaondoka. When they arrived at the station, those girls are sharp. So they just made 1 + 1 tunaenda Dodoma. Sasa wote tumevaa sare na bendera, tunaenda Dodoma. And kama tunaenda Dodoma, tunaenda bungeni. You know, but they never knew about the press conference. So we kept everything to our hearts. But similarly, even the contractual obligations, nobody was forced to sign. Because aliyetengeneza mkataba, of course, I'm not a lawyer, but I went through each and everything. But aliyetengeneza hiyo mkataba is a former beauty queen. Do you understand?
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
You get me? Would she sign that? Aliyetengeneza hiyo mkataba not only was a former beauty queen, is a model, but also ametuwakilisha nje nchi, and she was a first runner-up in an international pageant. You get me? So it's also from her perspective. So when she spent 3 hours going word to word, sentence to sentence with all the girls about that 18-page, I don't know, 20, God knows how many page kataba, she made everything clear. And then those girls are very bright and intelligent. Yeah, and they are girls who are not like, you know, because I want to participate in this competition, nita sign tu mkataba.
So they're shocked to ask questions.
They were asking questions. What about this? What does this mean? What is about, you get me? So, and after that, and because the lawyer has also been on that side of because alishiriki kwenye mashindano ya Miss Tanzania. The lawyer, you get me, has been on the other side of the contestant. You get me? So, it's relatable.
Yes.
You understand? Because you have been through these things. And so you know what are the things which can happen. Because not only do you want to protect us as an organization, you also want to protect the girls.
Yes, definitely.
You get me? So, and that's what they signed.
So I have a last question to ask you. There's been a lot going on online. There's been a debate as why there is 2 Miss Tanzanians.
Actually, there are 5 Miss Tanzanians.
So can you please explain that to the people that are watching, why there are 2 and maybe the difference?
No, there are not 2. There are 5 Miss Tanzanians.
5?
Yes.
The rest are like under different titles.
Doesn't matter, but there are 5 Miss Tanzania pageants. In fact, there's even more than that, but I don't know much. So, but I will not go into the depth about it. You get me? I think in this age and era, yeah, I'm done and tired explaining people. Okay? Mwenyezi Mungu amewapatia what you call akili, kujiongezea. Right? And then kuzuri ni kwamba huyo Mwenyezi Mungu aliwapatia sisi binadamu akili, na sisi binadamu wenye akili tulitengeneza akili bandia. Does it make sense?
I think it kind of does.
Yeah? So Mwenyezi Mungu ametumba sisi, na sisi binadamu alitupatia ubongo, akili, and we used our same akili to tengeneza akili bandia. Right? And now, if you put on akili bandia, tell me about the difference between these 3 things. Umeelewa? Akili bandia mwenyewe atakwambia. Umeelewa? And then, wewe soma pale, and then kujiongeze. Umeelewa?
I think, yeah.
Tatizo is we do not want to spend time and research, time and energy on doing research. Umeelewa? Ndo sisi ndo nikakwambia tuna PhD ya kudandia treni. Umeelewa? Now, when was bombarded by calls from viongozi and some of our missions abroad and Hassanali, so wewe unaandaa nini sasa? Umeelewa? So I'm like, yo, you of all the people, and everybody who I know people personally, you know, like, is that so difficult?
I was shocked for
No,
that.
is it really difficult? Umeelewa? But you can't blame anybody because historically, from '94 until the previous franchise was withdrawn from the past franchise holders, it was taken away from them. You get me? It has been historically mshindi wa Miss Tanzania anaenda Miss World. You see? And then suddenly, you know, we hatujazoea ile mshtuko umeelewa ya maisha ni kama umeelewa, it's like we never had a sitting president dying. We've had a sitting vice president dying, but we've never had a sitting president dying. So what happens next? Umeelewa? So you see, you get what I'm trying to say. So once now, if the next time, if people are ready for it, you know what I mean? So a lot of people were not ready for it. And then people they still want to believe status quo. You get me? When I got my franchise signed, okay, so I had to sign first and in pay, you know what I mean? But my dear, if they do not sign, I don't have an agreement, right? So until they signed the document arrived, that's when I found out, oh, now I have the franchise. You know what I mean? It's because if we have an agreement, I have an agreement with you and I sign, I cannot just go and brag about, oh, I'm going to heaven, I'm a citizen, you know what I mean? Until they sign back. Then I can brag about it. But even before that, I got my, you know, the names registered with Kosota and, you know, Brella and all those things sorted first before I went to Baraza la Sanaa. Because when I went to Basata, walinipokea vizuri tu. You get me? But we have to also understand, I have been working with Basata since 2000, even before you were born, honey. You get me?
You always like to remind me.
You understand? No, I'm just telling you. You get me? And all the 18 fashion weeks we have been doing and all the fashion shows we have been doing, we have a file there. You get me? Of there are things which I have lost of fashion week. They have it because you have to. No, you work with the government, compliance. So walinipokea and they gave us guidelines. Apparently, there are guidelines to organize a beauty pageant in Tanzania. I didn't know that. You get me? Because I started Fashion Week those days. I'm sure now they even have guidelines for fashion shows and things that I do not know because I've never been given one. But for beauty pageant, I was given a whole guidelines, what to do, you know. So all the gifts, all the jewelry, all those things you have to submit to the National Arts Council. Everything, how your stage looks like, how everything looks like. You know what I mean?
So everything has to be on point.
They come and they're there. They are there throughout. They were there throughout from the first day of the boot camp they came, the second day of the boot camp they came, you know, the second day even the executive director came, you know, to see Mandalisi. They were even while they were building the stage, everything they were there, you know, all the contracts, everything you have seen, all the memorandum for understandings, everything, they have a copy of it. So we were 100% compliant, you know. Even the zawadis, tunataka kuona zawadi. I said, if you want, I can even send the money to your account. You know what I mean? If you do not, even the slips, everything they have. You know what I mean? In short, it is called compliance. Now, because people were so used to it, that Miss World Tanzania and the Miss World, we did not want to do anything. We wanted to be fresh. So even the team we were working with, none of us had an idea about what a beauty pageant is.
Wow.
So I was there, but you know when you're inside organizing it, so we said, let's learn, let's do our way. Let's do our way. And then what happens in Miss World is this head-to-head challenge, beauty with a purpose, all those things. Let's focus on that. Let's also create our, like we had a Samia clean cooking challenge. Let's create our own things also. You know what I mean? And make this so that when they leave the camp, they leave at least empowered. They leave that I learned something. I just did not spend 12 days of my life sleeping in the room. So that was great. And so that was a lot of confusion. So I spent most of my time, which I would have used to better the event or do something, just what do you call troubleshooting, like picking up calls and doing this. And I became explaining until today my voice has not recovered. You know what I mean?
Sorry about that.
No, but it's also the narrative put out there. You know what I mean? That we have a press conference. You know what I mean? And with the minister, that we are doing this and the contestants are there, and the next day you see what happens. You know what I mean? So, and that costed me a lot because I had two sponsors who pulled out because they're multinational brands and they do not want to be part of any controversy. So all these commenters who are saying, who you, they read internationally. So they told their local officers back out, cancel the contract.
Really?
And I'm not worried about the financial investment they were making, but I'm not even worried about the support, like the branding support, the other support they were giving, the kits and all those things. I'm worried because they had a challenge for the contestants, which is really beautiful. I was like so looking forward to it. That contestant would have, whoever won that, would have represented Tanzania at the one of the top 4 fashion weeks at one of those fashion weeks. So now that dream has gone. It's basically Tumenima, and we have snatched a young girl's dream because of our online drama. You get me? And I'm like, okay, whatever happens, happens for a reason. And I said tunamtanguliza Mwenyezi Mungu because I'm not answerable to anybody apart from my God. You know what I mean? And I'm only answerable to one person, and it's the National Arts Council of Tanzania, because they are my regulators. They are the ones who get the permit. You know what I mean? And I just did not want, there was a lot of fiasco, and I could not be bothered because whatever happens, happens for a reason. And I thank whatever happened because suddenly everybody is following us and everybody is commenting on our page and everybody is looking, and the engagement on a Miss World Tanzania's page is phenomenal. I wasn't even expecting it. I'm not even talking about the followers, the phenomenal, like, forget about that. I have never had that much engagement in my entire life. Even if you take from the time Instagram started, you add all those engagements every month. The engagement I got this month, it haiwezi kufika. So if anybody wants me for brand endorsement, I'm here.
It's working.
So all those negative, I would say, it actually turned it positive. So sometimes you take every cloud as a silver lining, and I thank everybody who helped the negativity to help us into positivity. And the bottom line is this: that we have a winner, a national winner, whom we are preparing for her trip to Vietnam for Miss World. And because you know that Miss World Tanzania is the host country for Miss World in 2027, right? So there's my girl is still gonna be a star because at Vietnam, I'm sure there'll be a handing over ceremony, but bendera Miss World inapewa Tanzania, and I think our leadership will be going to take that bendera. So you see, so the moment she lands, she'll be star. She'll be the focus of attention. So we need to prepare her mentally, emotionally, psychologically for that. You know what I mean? The rest is history. You know what I mean? My job, I always tell people, you do you, leave the rest to the God. Because, my dear, tu mkweli, aliyekuleta, did you ask your parents you want to come to this world?
No, I didn't.
Did you ask God?
No, I didn't.
Exactly. So aliyekuleta duniani atapambana na hali yake na atakupambania. The
Amazing.
same person anayekupambania is the same person anayenipambania. You just have to have faith in it. You know what I mean? And even if it did, every misfortune has the word fortune in it. So, and life goes
That's
on.
amazing. I'm still in that one.
And that's why, and we did invite, you know, other pageants, organizers to Miss World Tanzania. You get me? Nazimizi came. She came with her winner, last year's winner, and she came with another entourage of people who she bought tickets with. You know what I mean? Milen came with her winner. You get me? And also she bought tickets to, you know, because we only send them 2 tickets. You know what I mean? And I think that's camaraderie because we only have one agenda, and the agenda is the representation of our country. Because Mheshimiwa Rais, the president, wants economic diplomacy. But then there is also cultural diplomacy. There is sports diplomacy, and sports is an income generating business. Culture is an income generating uh, yes, and economic diplomacy, culture and sports are part of it. So if our government policies to champion economic diplomacy, we are the economic diplomatic champions. You know what I mean? And last but not the least, it's up to us in the way we are represented in the way we won in Boston Marathon or Japan Tokyo Marathon. We had Simbu representing us. You know what I mean? These girls represent, they're not carrying any other flag but the flag of United Republic of Tanzania. So when they go there, when they walk, it's Tanzania. You know, it's not about, it's Naisaya, or it's not about Beatrice, or it's not about Latricia. It's Tanzania. And that's the representation we want. Yes, we are all one. We have to work as a team. You know what I mean? Of course, I wouldn't say competitors, but you know, everybody has their own way of doing things. But at the end of the day, Utanzania kwanza. The country comes first than any other things. We should not be a divisive country. However divisive, of course, you are. Let's say, are you younger or Simba?
Me, I don't like football.
Okay, so you see, but that does not mean that you're not gonna go to, I don't know, AFCON. Probably you'll be the first one dancing in the club,
Yeah,
whether they put a goal or no goal. You want to be in that vibe. You know what I mean? A husband can be Yanga, a wife can be Simba, and then if the wife is Simba, and one of them wins, the other one has to lose. No, they are gonna go, they'll be mad at each other. You know, the other one moving hand, the other one, you know, those things, which happens. But when they go to sleep, they're going as sleeping as husband and wife, not Yanga and Simba. And life continues. You know what I mean? That's camaraderie. Eh? And that's how everybody wants to be the best. Everybody wants to do the best. But when they go out in you know, the sports leagues out there, whether it's Yanga or Simba, they're representing the country apart from their team.
Yes.
They are representing the
We're
country.
one in that,
exactly.
yeah,
So even if you are a younger fan, you'll be there in the stadium supporting Simba. You know what I mean? You get me?
Yes.
Because you're supporting the country. And in Taifa Stars, all of them are mixed. There's a younger player, Simba player, international players, Tanzanian players staying outside, Azam players, Jim Tibwa, everybody is inside. You know what I mean? Because that's a national team. There's no difference there. So we are national team. We are there to promote our economic
And this applies to the
diplomacy.
beauty pageant as well.
So this is beauty pageant. To sisi tunaenda kupeperusha bendera. So this division should not happen. Constructive competition, yes. Division, no. And I think we have passed that stage. So in short, it's the winner of Miss World Tanzania who goes to Miss World. That's why it's called Miss World Tanzania.
Okay. Probably, I think everybody's question has been answered right now about the whole.
And I thank the minister. You get me? He has made it very much categorically clear that the person who has the right to send a representative to Miss
And
World
I've met
is
her.
us.
She's a really lovely lady. I'm sure she's
You
gonna represent.
did?
Yes, I just interviewed her a couple of minutes
Okay.
ago. So yeah, but thank you so much for your time and explaining things to us in depth. Really appreciate it.
Asante Sana, thank you very much. And let me call a spade, not a big spoon. Media like Citizen, it's the content that counts, right? You should you should you should promote the narrative. You know what I mean? You are a woman, you are a girl, you are a woman, and I think there's a lot of talk about women empowerment, but it needs to be practiced. You know what I mean? Mothers from supporting their daughters. I'm not talking about beauty pageants. She just wants to be a model, an artist, a painter, or she just wants to write music. You know what I mean? Or she just wants to be a dancer, or she wants to play cricket. I don't know if there's cricket for females, but I'm just saying, or football, female football. I think it's up to the mothers to support and these mothers they're coming, support the young ones, and then guide them. I think if we empower each other, the world will be a very beautiful place to live in.
Wow, that was great.
So, Cruel Citizen, please help us change the narrative so we can make Tanzania a better place for the future generation.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody, that was Mustafa Hassanali. Catch you guys on the next one. My name is Moxie Bailey, signing out.